It was a palace built from a dream, Isabella Stewart Gardner's dream, a Venetian marvel in Boston filled with treasures she collected from around the world. Every room told a story. The Dutch room's dark wood, the Titian room's opulent reds. This wasn't just a museum, it was her home, her legacy, her one rule: nothing was ever to be changed. The Gardner Museum opened in 1903, a gift to Boston, a sanctuary for art, masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Manet, Degas, names that echoed through art history. The collection's value, immeasurable, but even palaces have vulnerabilities. Security in 1990 was shockingly simple: motion detectors, a handful of guards, and a belief in the sanctity of art. The museum trusted that no one would dare violate such a place, but that trust would be shattered. Each night the city quieted around the Gardner. The last staff left, doors locked, guards on lonely patrol. Just another night in Boston, or so it seemed. But a storm was gathering, not of weather, but of human greed. A plan was in motion, a plan that would leave a wound that never healed, a silence that screams louder than any alarm. The Gardner stood, a jewel box on the Fenway, its treasures sleeping within. But that peace was about to be broken. March 18, 1990. Boston was recovering from St. Patrick's Day. Inside the Gardner Museum, two young guards worked the night shift. Rick Abath, a 23-year-old musician, manned the security desk. The night was cold, the museum quiet, until a buzz at the side entrance just after 1 a.m. on the monitor. Two men dressed as Boston police. They claimed to be responding to a disturbance in the courtyard. Protocol said not to open the door, but Rick hesitated. They looked official. What if there really was trouble? He buzzed them in. The men entered, acting like routine cops. But then, one told Rick he looked familiar. Maybe there was a warrant out for him. He asked Rick to step away from the desk, away from the panic button. Rick complied, intimidated. In that instant, the illusion shattered. The officers revealed their true purpose. This was a robbery. They ordered Rick to the floor and called his partner back to the office. Both guards were quickly subdued. The thieves were calm, professional, and in control. They used duct tape, bound the guards, and led them to the basement. Handcuffed and helpless, the guards were told to stay quiet. The museum was now theirs. They had 81 minutes, and they were about to make history. With the guards neutralized, the thieves had free rein. They didn't rush. They moved with purpose, as if following a list. They ignored some masterpieces, heading straight for the Dutch room. The motion detectors recorded every step, but no alarm sounded. The security system only alerted the desk, now empty. The thieves' movements were methodical. They bypassed Titian's and Raphael's, targeting specific works. The Dutch room was their main focus. They ripped masterpieces from their frames. The printer at the desk silently logged their path. No one was there to see it. No police were alerted. The thieves had the run of the place. They moved to the short gallery, taking more art. Their choices were puzzling, some valuable, some odd. They took 5 Degas drawings, a bronze eagle finial, and a Chinese beaker. They left behind more valuable works. After 81 minutes, their work was done. They exited the way they came, vanishing into the Boston night. The largest art theft in modern history was complete. The museum's treasures were gone. The empty frames would soon become symbols of loss. The city slept on, unaware of what had been stolen. The Gardner's silence was now a wound, and the world would soon wake to the shock. The heist was done. But the mystery was just beginning. The Dutch room was the epicenter. Rembrandt's only seascape, the storm on the Sea of Galilee, was cut from its frame. Another Rembrandt, A Lady and Gentleman in Black, suffered the same fate. A tiny Rembrandt self-portrait etching was unscrewed and taken. Then Vermeer's The Concert, one of only 34 known Vermeers, was lifted from the wall. The thieves moved with audacity, dismantling a room untouched for a century. In the short gallery, they took 5 Degas sketches, small but valuable. They grabbed a bronze eagle finial from a Napoleonic flag, leaving the flag behind. They took a Chinese bronze beaker, a go, an odd choice. They ignored a Titian masterpiece, The Rape of Europa. Their selections were a riddle, immense value mixed with baffling curiosity. 13 pieces in all, worth $500 million. After 81 minutes, they vanished into the night. The museum was left in shock. The empty frames would become haunting reminders. The choices the thieves made still puzzle investigators. The Gardner story was now forever changed. and the world's greatest art mystery had begun. What was lost? More than paint and canvas, history, genius, a voice from the past. Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, painted in 1633, was his only seascape. It was a masterpiece of drama and faith, with Rembrandt himself painted among the disciples. The painting's light and shadow, its sense of hope amid chaos, drew viewers in. It was the Dutch room's centerpiece, an experience, not just a painting. The thieves reduced it to a rolled-up piece of cloth. The loss is more than monetary. It's a silent conversation across centuries. Art historians can study photos, but the original's presence is gone. Today, an empty frame hangs where the Rembrandt once was. Gardner's will forbids replacement. The void remains. The frame is a powerful statement, a testament to loss. Every visitor sees what's missing, feels the absence. The museum waits, hoping for the painting's return. The empty frame is a question mark, a silent plea. The theft left a wound that never healed. The Dutch room's heart was torn out, and the world lost a masterpiece. The silence in that room is deafening. The story of the storm is unfinished. The gardener's loss is a loss for us all. The hope for return endures, but the masterpiece remains missing. Then there was Vermeer's The Concert, a jewel among jewels. Vermeer painted so few works, each is irreplaceable. The concert showed three musicians in a sunlit room, a scene of harmony and calm. Its loss is like losing a planet from the art universe. The thieves also took 5 Degas sketches, intimate glimpses into the artist's process. A Govert Flink landscape, once mistaken for a Rembrandt, was stolen too. And then the oddities, the ancient Chinese gu, the Napoleonic eagle finial, 13 pieces in all, worth $500 million. But the collection was more than its price tag. Each piece was chosen by Gardner, each had its place in her vision. The thieves didn't just steal objects, they tore pages from a story. The empty spaces are silent monuments to a crime unsolved. The museum's narrative is now full of holes. The loss is felt by every visitor. The stolen art is a shadow over the Gardner. The world's greatest art heist left more than empty frames. It left a legacy of longing. The story of the stolen art is unfinished. The search continues, the museum waits, and the world wonders. Will the lost masterpieces ever return, or are they gone forever? Morning revealed the devastation. Guards found their colleagues tied up, the gallery stripped. The police and FBI launched the greatest art investigation in history. The thieves left little evidence. No fingerprints, no videotape. Only grainy entrance camera stills remained. The guards described 2 white men, but the trail was cold. The heist required knowledge of the museum's layout and security. Was it an inside job? Suspicion fell on Rick Abbott, who had broken protocol. He'd hosted a party in the museum months earlier and opened a door the night of the heist. The FBI wondered if he was involved, but nothing was proven. Investigators faced a daunting task. The thieves seemed to vanish without a trace. The questions piled up. How did they know the protocols? Why that night? Theories of inside help grew. The investigation was a maze of dead ends. The Gardner Heist became a legend. The city was left with more questions than answers. The art world was stunned. The search for the truth began, and the mystery deepened. The Gardner's silence grew louder. The investigation plunged into Boston's underworld. The FBI suspected a local mob crew, possibly the Patriarca crime family. Names surfaced: Carmelo Merlino, David Turner, men with criminal ties and possible connections to the museum. The theory: the art was stolen as a bargaining chip, not for sale. Another suspect, Bobby Donati, was linked to the case but murdered before he could talk. Leads came and went. An antiques dealer claimed he could return the art, but nothing materialized. Other suspects included con men, the IRA, even rumors of a billionaire collector. The FBI chased leads from Boston to France, dug up backyards, offered immunity, but the art remained hidden. The underworld kept its secrets. The list of suspects grew, but the truth stayed elusive. The Gardner Heist became a web of rumors and dead ends. The paintings vanished into legend. The case grew colder. The world watched, waiting for a break. But the silence persisted. The art's fate remained a mystery, and the Gardner's empty frames waited. More than 3 decades later, the art is still missing. The case remains open, the reward unclaimed. The Gardner's empty frames haunt every visitor. They are not just placeholders, they are symbols of loss. The world wonders, are the masterpieces hidden, destroyed, or lost forever? The heist fascinates because it feels impossible. A perfect crime, the audacity, the mystery, the unanswered questions keep us hooked. We want the story's end, the puzzle solved. The art's absence is a wound for all. The empty frames are a constant reminder of what was taken. The hope for recovery endures, but so does the fear of permanent loss. The Gardner Heist is more than a crime. It's a cautionary tale about vulnerability and value. The museum waits, the reward stands. Somewhere someone knows the truth. The secret of Rembrandt's storm and Vermeer's concert is still out there, a $500 million secret waiting in the dark. Until it's found, the Gardner Heist remains the world's greatest unsolved art mystery. The silence endures, the frames remain empty, the story is unfinished, and the world keeps searching, hoping for a return and an ending at last.